I know you as a CHO, and by that I refer to you as a Chief Health Officer. So you work with the absolute top founders on earth, 7, 8, 9-figure entrepreneurs, and you level up their health, which is often overlooked.
Yeah.
How did you get into this?
By accident. Honestly, my whole journey is just a reflection of the problems I had to face. I fixed my own problems first, and that just gave me a skill set, a knowledge, and also a desire to bring this into the world. Because my problems, nobody else could figure out. I went to doctors, I went to alternative health practices, I did the food pyramid guide, I listened to the government, I listened to the skeptics and the conspiracy theorists, because they're both, to a point true. Like, you can't trust pharma. But I had to figure it out myself, and I just want to bring that information into the world. The people I work with, it's not because I selected them. It's kind of like they came across my path, and in a way, I just decided to provide service for them. Right?
Now, what was interesting there is you just said that you touched on Big Pharma. I don't know how conspiracy we can go, but
Let's go.
What do you think? Why can't you trust Big Pharma?
You can't trust anybody who's motivated by financials rather than by the outcome, right, of your health.
And so how does that manifest?
I mean, statins is a good example of it. This comes from my mentor. This comes from this guy as well that is a lead doctor in UK. Listen, if you've been taking statins your whole life, everybody thinks that it is this panacea to prevent heart disease. Honestly, you get a 2.5% decrease in all-cause mortality. Oh, that was yours.
Yeah.
2.5% decrease in all-cause mortality for usually a 20 or 30% increase in symptoms. Okay, why are we driving these levels? Also, the metrics that they're using to push statins onto people, it's not, hey, let's get you in better shape. It's not like cardio. Like, yes, they try to do it, but it's so surface level. The medical system is not built for health creation. It's meant for rehabilitation and constant chronic pain rehabilitation. It's like, we'll keep you trapped in this area. So going back to the other point, the levels that they're doing to qualify somebody for a statin, in my opinion, are not reflective of what research shows that heart disease is created from. It's a very surface level picture of your LDL, of your total cholesterol, and in my opinion, that is not enough to validate whether somebody is at risk. It is just like seeing the population count, but your population can have criminals in it, and my population can have law-abiding civilians. But you're going to quantify our population counts as high, and therefore I just go on a statin. Like, what motivation is that without getting deeper into the awareness of how that health is being expressed for the individual, right?
Well, so, because that was a bit in-depth, not in a bad way.
Yeah.
But I'm quite curious because you've obviously got this, just a question mark over your head when you see Big Pharma, right? You just question everything. That's what a lot of top entrepreneurs I work with do. They question everything.
Yeah.
Do you have a recent example of a supplement or a health practice that you've done recently, and when you first heard about it, you were like, nah, way, that's not going to work. That's stupid. You were very skeptical about it, but then you were proven wrong.
Yeah. I'm always saying no to things before I say yes to them. What's a good example of something that I brought into my life that I never believed in before? Give me a second, because I know there's a couple. I mean, methylene blue. Do you know that?
Can I ask you on that?
Yeah.
So I tried that early this year.
Yeah.
Felt clear-headed, felt fantastic, bought the USP, whatever, supposed to be good. And after about 2 weeks, and I did low dose, whatever was pushed 2 drops or whatever it was. But honestly, after 2-3 weeks, I just felt so sluggish, and I felt absolutely dead. Like the worst headaches I've ever had. So I just stopped.
So this is the flip side of it too. So I was a skeptic when people were bringing this up in the biohacking niche and saying, oh, take this food dye, like this.
Yeah, exactly. I was trying to tell
fish
my
tank
mom. I was like,
cleaner.
yeah, exactly. I was saying that to my mom, and she was like, "Fuck, you're retarded.
Yeah.
You've got no brain cells left."
Okay, so this comes from Chris Masterjohn. He's a PhD. So, state your sources. Respect to the person that brought this to my attention. Electrons. Okay, how do I say this simply? You have a conveyor belt of energy production. Okay, why methylene blue works for some people is that if your conveyor belt is like fucking junked up in the middle, methylene blue comes as an electron carrier and takes this energy product, raw material, to this endpoint, and it bypasses the junk. Okay? That's a longer route. Okay? Why, if you're efficient in mitochondria, which is the energy factory system, don't take the longer route. Just go straight down the narrow. So for you, if you always felt good and then you felt worse using methylene blue, this is so ironic. This is what I tell my clients all the time. If you use methylene blue and you feel better, there's actually something wrong with you.
But if I use it and I feel worse,
Then you're probably fine in the first place.
oh, I felt fucking horrible.
And this is why you can't just reach out and take the latest trend, because everyone's trying to sell something.
I literally saw it on a Twitter thread. I was so retarded. I was like, I literally saw one Twitter post that was like, yeah, take this methylene blue, and I was like, all right, fuck it.
Yeah.
Different period of my life.
Yeah, entrepreneurs are kind of full send and let's run it till we figure it out. But there's risks.
Yeah, that's fair.
You suffer 2 weeks because of it. Just understand that.
Well, that's why I'm very, very skeptical now. That's why I ask you before I find anything.
Yeah, and that's nice. Like I appreciate that we built this relationship of trust, and I think more people need that. It's like by the way, ChatGPT fucking sucks. Don't listen to ChatGPT, because the same way you pulled that information from Twitter, guess where ChatGPT is pulling that information from as well.
Same sources.
It's scanning the internet. So unless you're very specific on how you tell it to source its information.
Do you have like a CHO GPT prompting?
I actually did build one out. I'm actually building it out now onto the software that we're giving our clients, the CHO model clients. So stay tuned. Root GPT is coming out in the next 2 months, I would say. But yeah. So if you're going to use ChatGPT, Grok, whatever AI language model, whenever it gives you a claim, go specifically and ask it, where's this claim sourced from? And it's hilarious how often it will pull up a fake article or pull up like a Twitter or like some Healthline like web page.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, first of all, you're just trying to get the consensus data on how things work. Rather than seeing how this exact mechanism for an individual would be played out as, right? Methylene blue, maybe on average, because so many people are dysfunctional, is being touted as something that enhances your energy. Okay, but you tried it, and based on ChatGPT, you might think that it's going to improve your energy, but you're actually going to be more dysfunctional as a result. Consensus data does not apply to the individual, so that's why we work with people one-on-one. That's the difference in the approach. That's the value of it, actually.
Yeah, no, it makes a lot of sense. What's the most... I'm sure you get clients that come to you with all different types of things.
Yeah.
Is there a specific area that you find the most... which area of kind of health do you find most interesting?
I love neurophysiology.
What does that mean?
It's just how the brain works. There's like, in my opinion, the psychological component, the physiological component, and even the physical component of it. Brain activity is very, very interesting to me. It's one, I think it's just, that's where consciousness exists. That's where like belief systems, attitudes, behaviors all originate from. The brain controls so many of your biological functions. It's like this signaling messenger to your liver, to your gut, and back and forth. It's a bi-directional communication that always occurs between your organs, brain and organs. Also, I couldn't have this conversation with you 5 years ago. I legitimately could not communicate this way. I would lose my train of thought. Like, I'm not fucking with you.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. 27 years old. That's when I got accepted into med school, and at that same time, I had the worst health of my life. Like, I was sitting with my best friend. We're sitting in the car. He asked me a question. I don't remember the question, but I remember I forgot how to answer it. I started I started the answer, and then like about
Just ended up going like
15 words in, I just stopped talking. Actually, like I had so much brain fog, so much like junk in my brain. Like neuroinflammation is technically what it's called. It's caused by toxins. It's caused by inflammation. It's caused by whatever. Well, I had a parasite in my gut at that time too. Like there was a lot of things going wrong with me. Couldn't finish my sentence. Freaked out. I was always like considered smart. I thought my intelligence, my learning capacity was my superpower. But if I can't finish sentences, I'd be fucked, you know? It was a huge identity and ego break. So that was the start of my health journey at 27.
That's actually wild.
So yeah.
But how do you feel now versus then?
Oh, I feel incredible. Like I could remember shit so much better than I can remember then. The things I struggled learning in university is like I could just pull up like in no problem. Like the Krebs cycle, glycolysis, all of these pathways with enzymatic names and like, you know, the organic acid conjugations and all the shit that I had to write down time and time again. It's like now
it's there.
I capture it so much better. But like I also sometimes forget conversations. It's like, you know, this is the thing I'm working on right now. It's how to remember everything. So this is why I'm interested in neurophysiology, because like the more I know, the more leverage I have in all areas of my life.
Yeah,
like
that's true.
Intelligence, like as a operator or as a founder, the biggest leverage you have at some point is your body and your mind, because eventually you're gonna hire out for the best marketer in the world. Eventually you're gonna hire the best operations person. You'll get your setters, closer, DMers. You'll have your CFO running things. So all that's left is how your body shows up every day and then how your mind operates. Okay. So my mind and my body is like the expression of my brand. I want my mind to be like unstoppable. I want to remember everything. So there's a thing called synaptic pruning. This is how biology works. This is how, as a child, you forget some memories that don't actually are important enough for you to remember.
Yeah.
That is a process that I'm trying to make so that I don't forget anything. Your biology wants you to cut out certain memories because it will find it unimportant. I don't want any memory to be unimportant anymore. You could do this through like certain type of compounds. You could block certain type of enzymes that would go and try to bring down those it's neuroplasticity, right? So it's being able to increase the amount of connection strength that you have between your neurons will allow memories to consolidate, to memories to get created. Yeah, I just want to do that. It would be fucking so cool. Imagine that everything that you learn about, you just never forget. Every pathway, every solution. I feel like I'm getting smarter, so that's cool. But, you know, I'm still like experimenting. So check back in 6 months. I'll tell you how smart I got. But yeah, neurophysiology, like the fact that I went from there and I recovered to this point, like it breaks your belief systems.
I don't know if you have any insight on this, but see, I was fortunate. So I went to a really good school, and most of my friends went to either Oxford or Cambridge, like Ivy League of the UK. And some of them are just so fucking smart. Just, they genuinely remember everything. They have just crazy brain power. The top entrepreneurs that you work with, I don't think it's the necessary just raw brain power that actually makes them really successful. This is more of a business question. What do you think are the most important traits for the top entrepreneurs? Because you see these guys on a daily basis. What do you think separates them from the general population?
Yeah.
Like, are there any common factors, or are there any common trends that you see that separate these 7, 8, 9, 10-figure entrepreneurs to just your average Joe?
Okay, yeah, for sure. There's certain people that pop into my mind. One is like, are we talking about like the 8, 9, 10 figure like?
Yeah, like what makes them operate just way differently?
Like any entrepreneur has high risk tolerance, it has fast speed to decision making, and has resilience. Like they are driven by something that is deeper than just something that could break at the surface and then shatter all the pieces underneath it. So whether that's pain, whether that's a bigger mission, whether that's love, wherever you're driven by, there's a deep level of drive, level of reason, meaning behind what you're doing. Okay, that is every entrepreneur, and that will get you to a certain level of success, easily 6, 7 figures. The people that make 8 to 9 figures, what I've noticed about them is they think differently. They think not in simple interactions. They think on global, like
macro trends,
macro shifts, macro control, macro, like they're building new infrastructures that they're seeing can adapt, like macro level problem. We're so caught up in like our day-to-day interactions. It's like, how do I make, this client come into my services? They're like, how can I shift a population towards this trend? Like that is like the 8, 9 figure people that's what they're doing, especially the 9 figure ones. And the way that they perceive, the way they're willing to act on human behavior, it's very interesting, because you have to be able to lose some to shift the most.
What does interesting mean?
Well, you have to have a little bit of a lack of apathy to, in my opinion, be able to make a decision that shifts a population. Like you cannot look at an individual and be like, does this hurt this individual or not? That's why when you get super famous or do something super successful, you have haters. Right? Why do people hate on you? It's because you did something, you're acting in a belief system or accordance that doesn't match every single population, a member of the population. You're doing it on a bigger level that will ideally...
ruffle some feathers.
Well, for sure, but you're trying to move the ones that you can. Right? Like, at least add up... You don't need the whole population, or you don't even need a majority of it, but you need a large enough quantity of the population that you're macro trying to shift into your service, your offer, your product, a new whatever it is, and that's gonna make it so that you have a lack of apathy to what the other people are gonna consider what you're doing as right or wrong.
Interesting. Okay.
Like it's so like I've seen it every single time. It's like, I don't give a fuck what that person thinks. I'm just gonna do this.
Like a bit narcissistic?
I've seen it.
But these guys are young as well, right?
I've also worked with older demographic 9-figure guys, where I wouldn't say they're narcissistic. Like the older one, like that's jumping into my mind, he's not narcissistic. He is just like...
Not in a talking shit way, just genuinely curious.
Yeah. But like it does come up for sure. Like I think that to have that belief system and drive, then narcissism is probably a trait that is highly correlated, or at least significantly correlated to also expressing the other one. But the other guy, like, he's just like, I'm like, they're conquerors, they're like, what's the right term for it? It's like they're
Alexander the Great.
Yeah, it's like, fuck you, don't push me, I'll fucking make it. Whether you like despite you kind of mindset, right? Narcissistic is when you think I think that, wait, didn't Hormozy say it best? He's like, every entrepreneur has like crippling, like every successful entrepreneur to some point has crippling insecurity, has enough narcissism or like this ego that thinks that they could be the best in the world and is willing to die for their fucking cause. right? Like like even me, like I want to have a global shift, right?
With the dinner table last night, I think we're all a bit cooked.
Yeah.
You know, on some level, we're all a bit psycho.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But I think that's why.
Well,
I think that's why you make it. I think so. If you want to do it young, as well, because you're just doing something very different.
Yeah. I think. Yeah.
And you can't doubt. You can doubt, but you have to ignore the doubt. And I think normal people, they doubt themselves, but then they listen to the doubt. And so I think we're abnormal because we doubt ourselves. We have these thoughts in our mind here and there. I'm sure we all we've all had that at some point. Entrepreneurs listening to this, we just completely ignore it. That's what I mean by a bit psycho, a bit cooked. You know.
I think it's a strong trait.
I think it's a very strong trait.
Just as long as we're associating it with like the self-belief and not like fucking murderous.
No, I'm not talking about that. No, I'm not talking about like from that perspective.
Well, what do you think? Like, what's? I'm genuinely curious. Like, what do you think you've seen in them? Because I want to actually start like acquiring some of these traits for myself, or like, being able to express them more, right?
Yeah.
Or at least have the awareness. Yeah.
From what I've seen from my friends that are like the ones that are kind of a tier above, a cut above, it's just I really think a big differentiator is just the games that they're playing, to just be really transparent. So us in the info space, we're still playing a relatively big game compared to average Joe. But there's just levels to this, right? And so similar to what you said, where it's population or control, whatever you want to use, right? Shifting a population, how all of these groups of people think. It's again similar things. I think because money after a certain level just doesn't really add anymore. But I think some of these people that get to cook levels, what ends up driving them is power. I don't know if that's necessarily good or bad. It just is what it is. But that's what I recognize, because I think that, like, how much is your life going to change from a net worth of 10 million to 20 million, or 10 million to 100 million? Like, honestly, after 20 million plus, really no net change. We're already driving G-Wagons, staying in the nicest places, flying the world constantly, like, you know? And I'm not near 10 million. I don't think you are. No. So what's, like, in terms of lifestyle, if that's what drives you, like, doesn't really affect things. But those top guys, as I said, what I've seen, it's literally about power, I think.
Yeah. I want power.
Fair.
But I bring that up because I think power can come from two different directions, too. Power comes from controlling either yourself and your environment, or controlling others and their environment. Right? I want to control myself and my environment. Like, it's very important to me. I grew up in a very unsafe environment, in circumstances that made me feel powerless. So what I would love, like, I want to change the medical institution. Yeah. Like, that's like kind of the dream outcome. Okay, well, I need power for that.
That's fair.
But I'm just saying, like, when you brought it up, I'm like, fuck, I want power. But, like, can I still be a good person while still wanting the power?
I think you can if you're... Yeah, I don't mean it in a bad way. I think you can be a good person, just where... I think it's... You want power, but recognizing at what cost. But then I think ultimately it's just... This is the thing I think that's difficult, and why these top people come across as narcissistic, because you want power, right? But to get there, you're just going to do what you think is best. And 7-8 billion people on Earth, a lot of those people won't agree with what you think is best. And so from your perspective, it might look selfish, even though from someone else's perspective, it might seem like you're being selfish. But from your perspective, you're like, no, I'm actually really helping people. But it's because they're uninformed and they might not know. That's what's difficult. But that's where really good marketing and sales comes in, I think. That's what I think is really cool with the online space, is that top marketers, honestly, I think a lot, like the people that really print in info, a lot of them are fantastic marketeers. Because you're selling a brand, you're selling a product, you know, these top people that you see, right? They're selling something. But they're selling at a really good rate, and they're competing. It's a competitive market. You're competing against Coca-Cola, you're competing against car manufacturers, all of these like businesses, conglomerates that have billions.
They're fighting
trillions
for your attention, right?
You compete against Apple's marketing when you run an Instagram ad, you know?
It's a good perspective. I
But
never thought about
those
it that way.
people, like those businesses, can just throw like 10. Like I speak about it with my friend that does YouTube, because you know we'll look at Coca-Cola, for example, Coca-Cola's YouTube channel, and it's basically just run on paid ads. AKA, they'll spend like 10 million on a YouTube video. It's just all paid ads on that YouTube video, which means they're fucking terrible at actually running the channel itself. They're actually terrible marketeers, but what they do is they just throw so much money at it, such a sea of money, that it fucking works. But it's not because you're actually good at it. You've just thrown enough money at it to kind of force it along, like brute force it. And I think that's interesting. I think we forget that in the info space, because a lot of us are also very fucking early in terms of in the space, but two, in our business careers. I know you feel old, but you're 30 or 31, right?
33.
33, sorry. That's still so young. And I'm coming at this from the lens of, okay, well, I used to work in finance. Top partners wouldn't make what you make until they're like 40. Michael Bloomberg, I used to work for that company, Bloomberg. That guy started his business at like 38. He's like 80 now. And so those top billionaires, I also think, play on really long time frames. I think that's what I like about you. I like people that think long term. You know, there's nothing wrong with having short term goals, like I want to do this by this, and you know, pushing yourself forwards. But that macro, I think, is really cool to look at.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting. So many points that you came up that we could touch on. But what really got me curious is like, what your thoughts are on power. Like, do you chase power yourself, or like do you coach your clients in like achieving power? Like, how does that work?
Me specifically.
Yeah.
So this is part of my problem, is like figuring out how I best help clients, because I help different people with different things. I honestly, how I work with all my clients at the moment, similar to you. Your clients will hop on a call with you and say, I need help with energy, I need help with focus, I need help with aesthetics. I'm a bit more comprehensive because I also come from a scaling businesses perspective, which is ironic because I haven't fully done it myself. But I'm like, what do you want help with as an individual? And if it's more dating, if it's more positioning yourself, if it's more this, if it's more your actual business, I'll tell you, I'll be very real if I feel like I can help you or not, and then I work together with that person. Because I don't want, like Camille said, similar to you, I don't want 3-month clients. I want 10-year clients. And if you're providing enough value and your value far exceeds the cost, then you can have a very long LTV. But you need to make sure the value's there. I think this is my take on the info space. Difficult thing in the info space is you can make a lot of money by just focusing on perceived value. And by focusing on perceived value, people will sign up. Now, if I sell 100 people because I'm really good at perceived value and really good at just getting people on board in the front end, I don't have to focus at all on delivery, because if I sign 100 people, 1 or 2 are going to be successful. And then I just use 1 or 2 of those people's marketing or results and testimonials, and then rinse and repeat that.
Yeah.
And then by the time that I'm done, because we're still in an unregulated space, in an unregulated industry, well, I've already made 5 million, and now I can fuck off and do something else. And you see that time and time and time again. That's why these people, they pop up, blow up, make shit to their cash, and then disappear. That's the double-edged sword of the info space, and why it has a bad name. Because these top marketers understand, actually, if I can focus on 2 things, perceived value and value, marketing and delivery, well, I only need to focus on marketing, because delivery doesn't matter. But that's short-term thinking, and I don't personally like that. That's why I focus a lot of my time on delivery, because if I can do really good marketing but then also have fantastic delivery, like you, longer LTV, lower churn, and the word of mouth spreads. I'm very, very well connected, and people will say to me, should I work with that person? And I won't say no, but I won't say yes. And they'll read between that line.
Oh, yeah. So you're pretty much saying no.
Yeah, basically.
If you're not an emphatic
because
yes.
I see it, you know?
Yeah.
I see it. And I'm like, I want what's best for my friends. And I, like with you, very transparently, I refer you. I say, I mean, I'm very transparent. I'll be like, you're the fucking guy.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you.
And a lot of people look like the guy, but they're not the guy.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Yeah. I mean, like, online world is a bunch of masks and a bunch of like, I mean, we could afford to rent a G-Wagon, but I could probably buy one next year for sure, if I didn't have my investments in the right place. But it is a lifestyle that most people are trying to sell to attract the ICP. I don't actually blame them. It's marketing. It's just the way it is.
I think there's nothing wrong with it, because I'm doing it too. But what I say is you need to couple it with the delivery.
Yeah, that's what I was.
That's all I'm saying.
That's the end line that I was going to agree with you on. Yeah,
Yeah.
No, but we're thinking along the same lines. It's like, you know, it's kind of like the road to the path, the outcome that you want to create. It's not always going to be paved in flower beds and
that's true.
smooth pavement. This is something we've had multiple conversations on like, hey, we actually both have the same intention. We want our clients to be the best version of themselves.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, and I think every service deliverable, if you're going out there and trying to actually make a change, whether it's making more money for your client, giving them like health consulting, giving them like a public speaking access or more authority, more fame, more dating, being able to attract love, whatever the case is, you're trying to make that person a version of themselves that they can express to the world to receive the love, the attention that they want to get back.
Yeah.
Or they create the impact that they want as well. You know, so that is service delivery, right? But, you know, I've never sold a single client by telling them that.
Yeah.
I want to make you the best version of yourself. You should pay me this much money to allow me to do that. No, they want, you know, you have to build their consciousness to the level where they actually can realize how important something like that is, like self-actualization, being able to go and create rather than just consume.
Yeah.
Those are all like higher consciousness, higher awareness things. But if somebody's in pain, if somebody can't make money, in a place of scarcity or what's it called? In a place of danger, not whatever the thing is. But if you have those like
safe.
Yeah, if they generally don't feel safe or they don't have access, you're not going to be able to sell somebody on, you know, clean energy fucking electric vehicles, and while they're polluting the air or water because they need to just survive. You know, it's like that shift has to occur. You have to build that level of consciousness. You got to educate and build skill sets. Yeah, so, yeah. It's an interesting world we live in, where it's like that's the impact I want to create. It's like I want to take that level from the person from the place of pain into the place of full consciousness and awareness.
I think it's cool, man. I think it's cool, but it's part of the game, and I have a lot of respect to these people, because I'm trying to get better at perceived value myself. I'm trying to get better at marketing, right? Mm-hmm. That's why we're doing this. That's why we're in this car and stuff like that, because it's the perceived value. But I don't bullshit people about it, and I'm very upfront with that. I think that's part of it. But like I said before, what blows my mind is actually how fucking successful this space is, because we're just competing against titans. Those massive conglomerates want your attention. But they're just terrible at marketing. That's why they can't capture it. And yet you can get some fucking random kid in his room, like Julius. I'm going to go see him soon.
Yeah.
And they capture an audience. They sell.
One thing that I have heard and has shifted the way that I see people like Coca-Cola doing their marketing is the fact that Coca-Cola is not trying to actually get you to buy their product today. Coca-Cola is trying to make you believe that you have to live with their product.
Interesting.
Like, they want to... The reason that they go and plaster their shit on billboards and Super Bowl ads and stuff like that is just general market awareness rather than trying to get an ROI on the investment, right?
That's fair.
If you're trying, like, and this is why we can capture somebody's attention with, like, good marketing. It's because we could go and directly access a present moment pain point and extract it into an outcome and solution. Coca-Cola, first of all, as a product, doesn't necessarily do that. It cannot solve a pain point to a solution unless it's a very, like, subliminal or higher level, hey, you drinking Coca-Cola brings you satisfaction after a long day's work kind of concept. But if it's constantly plastered everywhere, it becomes part of life, like air is part of life. Like that Coca-Cola ad is... If you go to...
normal.
It normalizes you to the experience. Now you think that it's normal to have a Coca-Cola in your fridge because you see it on every consumer shelf. You see it on every grocery store. You have access to it at every vendor that you go to across the world, whether it's at a UFC event, whether it's at a like Ferris wheel like factory, whether it's at an underground club. You know, like it's like
Very interesting.
mass level integration and like propaganda level marketing trends that they, in my opinion, I see as their approach. But I agree with you. It's not saying they suck. When they do tend to suck in marketing, but their marketing is not.
What are some of the things that you see that you're like, wow, why doesn't everyone do this?
I think that
free.
Yeah, I think that like one of the most important things for people to start integrating is detoxification into the lifestyle. I have 4 like major organs I try to focus on. Okay. And they're all connected, so it's hard to say which one is the most important. If I had to pick one, mitochondria, it's the most complicated. So let's not use that as the starting point. Liver, gut, brain, if you can just organize the inflammation in those 3 different areas and bring it down, then you're going to get a lot better outcome in every area of your life. The liver is the major detoxifier of your bloodstream. The gut is the main interaction with our environment, and then the brain is the signaler of everything. A neuroinflammatory, anti-inflammatory, a gut anti-inflammatory, and a liver agent worker would be such a great place for people to start. Just by those 3, you'll get like 40% improvement if you're suffering from any dysfunction related to those organs. I'll give you the supplements. I will go on Liver MD. Revive MD Liver. This is a great agent for liver detoxification and liver rejuvenation health. Give it to all my clients while I'll be doing a detox. For your gut, Designs by Health, Enteromind is a very good compound. And then for neuroinflammation of the brain, there's a compound called palmitoyl
I've never heard of this. This is wild.
PEA.
PEA, okay.
Yeah, like PEA is P. So it's a derivative of curcumin. It's a small part of it, but it's actually the part that goes and interacts with your brain. Now, PEA shouldn't be used like, Humpty Dumpty. Use it for like about a 1 to 3 month cycle, but it's a strong agent for neuroinflammation, bringing it down. The brain part is a little bit more difficult. Your brain is very tightly controlled, so you have to find the right agent for it. But yeah, the other 2 are blends that have multiple interactions, and then the brain is that. If I add the 4th one, just get on something that detoxifies you. We have tons of plastic exposure, mycotoxin exposure, heavy metals, herbicides, plasticides, all of these compounds interacting with us just through daily, everyday interactions. Daily, every day. I'm trying to fix my language sometimes.
That's okay.
When I say those things, that pisses me off.
Fair enough.
So daily interactions and detoxifying yourself daily at the beginning, just to get rid of some of the accumulated burden of the past few years where you haven't taken action on, can give you also a very broad systemic health improvement.
What do you think about those old Italian grandpas that they drink wine, they smoke cigarettes, but they look happy and they live long? How the fuck do they do it? Is it just because of their diet and just because of that's overall like organic? Like my thought process was that because my grandma, for example, smokes fine. She's very wrinkly, but she's in good health otherwise, and she's 91 years old. Smokes half a pack of cigarettes every day, and also has half a bottle of wine a day. Now I don't smoke. I don't drink, but that baffles me, and I'm like, how? What do you think?
Yeah, there's a term called confounding variables, where we look at one metric and then we directly relate it to an outcome. So, for example, your grandmother drinks wine, but she lives a long time. That's a direct relation. But it's never like that in reality. It's your mother or your grandmother drinks wine, smokes cigarettes, has a beautiful family life, lives probably a very relaxed lifestyle that's not very stress related, goes and sees a lot of sunlight, has a lot of antioxidant rich foods, and it's like all these confounding variables stack on top of it to create an outcome, right? And now we could say that, oh, well, my grandmother drank, but are you doing all of the behaviors your grandmother did to create that outcome overall? Just that is something to keep in mind, because smoking is 100% not healthy for you, and then drinking, very, very strong argument that more than 2 a week will probably create negative outcomes long term. Now that's one side of it. I argued this with my dad, and I didn't have a good answer with him like 7 years ago when I first started out. But as I educated myself, I learned there's this thing called epigenetics. Okay, epigenetics is how your genetics is being expressed by control through environmental interactions. So the important part of this is that epigenetics gets handed down. So your grandmother hands down her interactions with the environment to you as a child, your second generation, right? Now the problem is like, imagine that your epigenetic health was, let's say it's impossible, but if it was 100% with your grandmother, but then she went through all these behaviors, by the time she passes her genes to her daughter or son, I don't know which side you came from, it might be 20 or 30% less. So that 70% capacity that your parents had then gets passed down to you, but after they've abused potentially their epigenetic health, so you receive 50% epigenetic capacity, or like, it's not the perfect example, but it makes sense. Why are we way more unhealthy now? Well, that's another variable that people don't consider, is that we were dealt a card, a deck of hands, that make us immediately metabolically dysfunctional. Like, the amount of kids that have insulin resistance at birth is much higher than it was ever before, which means that they'll be fatter easier because of being born from a parent that was already insulin resistant. Plus, we don't live in a natural lifestyle. There's zero correlation that I can make between this and the 20s or 30s of your grandmother.
Yeah. Well, even now, like, she's lived on a farm her whole life. So I think that just
there's so much impact about like natural living and how it, like, I live in a city because I'm trying to grow my business. But if I'm gonna retire or if I'm gonna raise a family, I'm definitely going outside city, at least for periods, longer period durations.
No, I'm the same. I think it's interesting. I also think that it's like, I mean, my grandparents were fucking hard grafters, 7 days a week farmers. Just like, that's not easy. From post-war rations, like, it was all fucked.
No.
So I think because of that, they're just built different.
100.
for lack of a better. And honestly, maybe this is retarded, but I actually think this is me on 4 hours sleep.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that I'm like 100% fine, but I think, not in a cocky way, but I think compared to your average Joe, I'm actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
low key.
Yeah.
But I think it's probably because of both my grandparents, or all of them, they're like all basically fucking farmers. Long ass days, early mornings, grafting. And so I honestly think that because of that, it's affected me in different ways.
For sure.
And I feel like it's passed on almost.
Well, think about what I just said. Like, your parents, grandparents were hard-nosed, built a genetic profile that was passed down to you. Like, you know, there's certain traits that certain cultures express way more than other people.
Yeah.
Right? And that's because they survived in an environment that promoted those. Whether that's just hard work, tolerance, metabolic differences, all of it comes back down to, you know, not everything, but genetics does play a factor. So,
but I think that's why it's so important to be careful who you want to partner, who your partner is, and actually look at their family and their family's history too.
And baby
I actually
pictures.
look at that.
And baby pictures.
I never thought of baby pictures.
Well, I have like this weird, it's a very irrational fear of like the plasticized woman coming into my life that looks nothing like what they're.
Yeah, no facts. But that again, that's the perceived value versus real value, right? Perceives herself or is a master at curating a reality where she looks really fucking healthy. She's got fantastic body shape, all of this stuff, but actually it's fully curated.
Yeah.
But that's why you like these European babes.
Yeah.
Because those girls are fully natural.
Yeah,
I lean into that.
I like that old values, family oriented, natural. Natural is so key to me. I want to be healthy and young forever. Like, I want to live at least to 200. I could help my girl look like that too, but like the whole plastic to mask your insecurities, unless it's deforming, it's just not. I've learned to just accept this mug for what it is, and that's a beautiful part of identity, right? It's like, I don't know. I have my own opinions from childhood that were, you know, people loved me. I was a cute child, you know?
Yeah, fair.
But like, what I wanted was not people's affection for my looks. And I wanted them to actually understand me as the person, as a human, like as a kind and, you know, just joyful child. I never got complimented for being smart or good person. I got complimented for looks, and it was just so at face value and lack of depth that, you know, I have my opinions on it, but like,
no, it's honestly really interesting.
Oh, I 100%. Okay, do you want me to go like just a little bit deep on this?
Yeah, I'll do like a little loop, and then is that cool? And then I'll close off.
Yeah.
It'll be like 45 minutes overall.
This is important because I just want to bring actually a deeper context to this as well. This is my thing. I shout this out to the world, but just maybe from my own biases. But I had a very troubled upbringing. The reason I'm here, I'm always saying I'm not young. It's because I feel like I'm late. I could have been. I was this person not at I could have been this person at 21. I could have been this person at 16. It took me like till 33 to become this version of myself. And everybody has it.
Fuck.
No worries.
Sorry.
All good. Everybody has their own timeline, so you can't really hold it against anyone. Let me just fix it a little bit.
Sorry.
It's all good. But the reason I've been able to change so much is because I've went through a lot of internal reprogramming, call it psychotherapy, psychiatry, self-work, personal development. I encourage everyone to do that. It is turning your pain into your superpower. It's turning your pain into love. So I think that we should all be driven by that and not any other metric. and the reason that connects to this was because when I was a child, I was never accepted for who I was. I grew up in a Muslim upbringing, but I wasn't really practicing at a very young age, never agreed with it. My parents always pushed me towards that. Not finding acceptance from my parents, but getting, showered with affection for my looks or being a good-looking child was always even at a young age. It struck that very clear dissonance. Yeah, I was like, okay, why can't you see me for who I am, right? So that is why I had this problem with my ex, who was honestly very, very beautiful, 10 out of 10. And but she found her self-worth a little bit too much through her beauty. And I was never able to shower her with as much, compliments. And that was a place I am working on. I understand that you should always treat the person how they want to be treated, not how you want to treat them, right? I did better, but it made me also understand that if I ever find a partner, beauty has to be so much deeper than what's on the surface. I want to fall in love with somebody's soul, somebody's heart, somebody's morals, somebody's future rather than somebody's present. And the future is important because looks will fade. Beauty is something that we could try to hold on to, but if we live in typical normal span, you're not going to be beautiful at 90 on the outside. But you could always be beautiful on the inside.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So practice that, and then.
Well, I say this is beauty gets you in the door, but it doesn't keep you there. And so even me, when I was looking for someone, yeah, I wanted to be pretty. I want attractive kids for sure. There's a lot of benefits to that. I just like attractive. I'm not gonna lie. I'm superficial, and that's to an extent. But also having the maturity to recognize that there is more to life than just that, and you also need someone that can really fucking vibe with, that has really good energy, that's fucking smart, and has good family values, is good work. Also someone that just genuinely cares and just wants to support. At least for me, the feeling of an actual person that can kind of support you and help you is incredible. I think that's a really important factor.
Yeah,
but when you just filter for pure looks, it's hard to find that.
If anybody falls in love with you for your looks, they'll fall out of love with you just as fast at some point.
Yeah, it's true.
So, I mean, it's the base attraction, physical, emotional, intellectual, spiritual is how I kind of oriented.
I was speaking to Robin about this, though, because it's funny, because both Robin and I, Robin from yesterday, right?
Yeah.
A lot of, we know this, let's say dating space very well. And whilst there's a lot of truth in it, a lot of the typical red pill stuff, all of this, whatever, it kind of, the rule book goes out the window a little bit almost when you meet the girl that you really want to spend time with. And you can act a bit retarded, you can act whatever, it doesn't really matter as much because that person generally just likes you for you. It's really weird, really interesting. I can be very vulnerable with my girl. It's not like, oh, I'm not holding frame or this or that, She actually likes it. It's really interesting.
I feel like all of that does is set the opportunity, and if you do it strategically, to attract the right person into your life.
Yeah.
That's the only thing it's good for, because like you said, all the rules fucking fall to the side when you find somebody that's brings out parts of you that you never expressed to anyone before, which is what you're looking for. It's your partner provides a platform to express and build on the areas of your life that feel neglected.
No, it's true.
That's one of the things. It's multivariate, right? So
it's true. I'll call it there.
Yeah, I mean, we could just segue it out. One thing that,
I'll CTA you. So, I mean, if someone does want to work on that perceived value, look fucking attractive, so they find that woman of their dreams. Or want to work on their energy, health, where can they find you?
They can find me after they find you.
There you go.
Because the number one rule is be the person that attracts it, not just from like an aesthetic perspective. Look, I get people healthy, right? That's my main goal. I care about how you look, but I care about how you feel more. So if you're interested in understanding your biology like the back of your hand, that you have a blueprint that you can understand exactly how to operate and create maximum performance while not sacrificing the longevity aspect to your business, to your life, to your family, to your dreams, I'm your guy. So I feel very confident saying that as well.
Yeah, I'll vouch for him as well. And I've seen the level, the caliber of people that he works with. It's not a joke. So,
bro, at the end of the
true.
day,
I wouldn't say I work with integrity, so
yeah,
I wouldn't say it's, I
appreciate
didn't believe it.
I love the people I work with. I'm super fucking grateful for this. All I want to do is spread good into the world. I need to start my YouTube, but eventually you can follow me there. So.